The Olympics, it's a beautiful thing. A spectacle of human achievement, a celebration of unity and sportsmanship. The world watches in awe as athletes push the boundaries of what is possible. Countries come together, athletes do their best. Everyone pretends to care about handball for 2 weeks. It's magical. The camaraderie, the competition, the sheer joy of the games. It's a time when the world seems to hold its breath, united in the spirit of friendly rivalry. But behind all the glitter and gold medals, there's a truth nobody likes to talk about. Hosting the Olympics can be a financial nightmare. Cities pour billions into infrastructure, stadiums, and security, hoping for a return on investment that often never comes. The aftermath can be devastating, with empty venues and mounting debt. Think of it like going to a fancy restaurant, you know, the kind with cloth napkins and words you can't pronounce on the menu. The ambiance is perfect, the food is exquisite, and for a moment, you feel like royalty. You get the bill, and suddenly you're selling your car for an appetizer. The shock is real, and the regret sets in. Hosting the Olympics can be just like that. The initial excitement and pride give way to financial strain and long-term economic challenges. It's a sobering reality that many host cities face, long after the last medal has been awarded and the final firework has faded. If you're finding this eye-opening, make sure to like and subscribe for more insights. And stay tuned, because later in the video we'll reveal some shocking statistics that you won't want to miss. Hosting the Olympics is expensive, like really expensive. We're talking billions, folks, billions. The 2008 Beijing Olympics, a cool $40 billion. Sochi in 2014, hold on to your hats, people, over $50 billion. That's enough money to buy a small country, or a very large yacht. And what do you get for all that cash? A bunch of empty stadiums and a mountain of debt. Let's talk about Montreal, shall we? They hosted the 1976 Olympics. Lovely city, Montreal. Beautiful in the summer. But those Olympics? They left Montreal with so much debt it took them 30 years to pay it off. 30 years! That's longer than most marriages last these days. And Athens? They spent billions on the 2004 games. Now they've got more empty stadiums than philosophers. Surprise winners? Sometimes the underdog takes it all. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. Some cities actually make money from the Olympics. Los Angeles in 1984, for example. They turned a profit. How? They used a lot of existing facilities and got creative with sponsorships. It's like finding a $20 bill in your pocket. You weren't expecting it, but hey, you'll take it. The Olympic hangover, empty stadiums, and crumbling dreams. The grandeur of the Olympics often leaves behind a stark reality. But even when a city does make money, there's a catch. The initial excitement and economic boost can be short-lived. What happens to all those fancy stadiums and arenas after the party's over? They often stand as silent witnesses to the fleeting nature of fame and fortune. They often end up as expensive reminders of a glorious 2 weeks. Maintenance costs skyrocket, and the local community is left to bear the burden. Take a look at Beijing's iconic Bird's Nest Stadium, a marvel of modern architecture and a symbol of national pride. It cost over $400 million to build. The investment was massive, with hopes of long-term benefits. Now it's mostly used for tourist photos and the occasional soccer game. The grand vision has faded, leaving behind a structure that struggles to find its purpose. This is not an isolated case. Many Olympic venues around the world share a similar fate, becoming relics of past glory. The challenge remains: how to balance the dream of hosting the Olympics with the reality of its aftermath. Cities must plan for sustainable futures, ensuring these grand structures don't become burdens. So, is hosting the Olympics worth the financial risk? Cities often dream of the prestige and economic boost that comes with hosting the games, but the reality can be far more complex and daunting. It's like playing the lottery. The odds of hitting the jackpot are slim, and the stakes are incredibly high. You might win big, but you're more likely to end up with an empty wallet and a drawer full of scratch-off tickets. Many host cities find themselves drowning in debt, with white elephant stadiums that serve little purpose post-games. Maybe it's time we rethink this whole Olympic shebang. The financial burden often falls on taxpayers, and the promised economic benefits rarely materialize as expected. Instead of spending billions on a 2-week party, which often leaves behind unused infrastructure, why not invest that money in things like education, healthcare, or, fixing that pothole that's been there since the last Olympics? These investments have long-term benefits that can improve the quality of life for residents far beyond the duration of the Games. Imagine the impact of better schools, more accessible healthcare, and sustainable infrastructure. These are the kinds of investments that can truly transform a city and its future. So, before jumping on the Olympic bandwagon, maybe we should consider what really matters for our communities and where our resources can do the most good.